Good evening, everyone. It's Shelley Johns here from Gympie. I'm here with Ross.
Hey, Shelley.
We're on tonight's team call, and it's a really exciting call because we had a whole bunch of people attend the Success Summit events all around Australia, and also we've got a fantastic personal development session, and we're also going to talk a little bit about what's coming up as well that you can take advantage of. So I thought what I'd do is just get a few people to share that attended the events around, I can't see myself speaking, but that's okay. Around Australia. So Mervyn, did you want to come up and share what you've got out of the Sydney event that you attended?
Well, Gad Morgan was the presenter there, and he was excellent. He did an hour and 40 minutes of supervisor training, and he went through where he and Joanne, no, it wasn't Joanne. What's his wife's name? I've forgotten.
Jess.
But how they sort of were only doing it lukewarm to start with. They got going initially, then they sort of sat back for 8 years, and then they came back and continued, never giving up. So they tried. He said, you've still got to do flyers because they work, but social media is important, and all the other methods, they all work. But basically what he was saying, never quit. If you quit, that's it.
I think that's the key to anything you want to achieve. Hey, don't give up. Don't draw the line in the sand. So that's good. Thank you, Mervyn. That's fantastic feedback from the Sydney event. Trish, did you want to share? It was your first Success Summit, I think. So did you want to share what you got out of the event as well?
Yep. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I thought it was a great event. There's lots of stories of people going through different things and overcoming lots of things in life, and saying that, just because things are maybe difficult doesn't mean you give up, and always keep trying. One of the stories the lady had was where she had somebody that was very ill and in hospital. She was doing a lot of things, she was studying, and she still overcome that to reach her goal, and never gave up. And now she's helping a lot of other people to achieve their goals, and showing them how she does it and doing it better.
Awesome. Yeah, so yes. So thank you, Trish. I know you got a lot out of it, and it was great having a bit of a chat afterwards and making some plans from what we covered. And I'm glad that you travelled with us and came along to it. So thank you for sharing.
Yep.
Cool. And so I know, Jan McMahon, you attended the Success Summit as well. And of course, you've been to a lot of leadership events, Jan. So why do you keep going to them, and what were some of the ones you got from this event?
The reason why I keep going is because of the inspiration. No matter how long you've been in the company, you always need new inspiration and hearing like new stories. Now, we didn't get to hear a lot of new stories at the HOM, obviously, because it was sort of condensed and everything, but that was fine. Hearing, the regular stories is always inspirational anyway. But Joanna Gina, she was absolutely incredible young woman, just unbelievable to think what she has achieved. Yes, she was in the business for, I think she said, about 4 years as a bit of a hobby and sort of just in the background there. But then she made the decision to sort of move forward in the marketing plan. First of all, get team, their millionaire team, and she achieved the millionaire team under some incredible circumstances. I think part of it was when she was in hospital, like Kim was sort of talking about. She did some incredible volume from the hospital bed. I think she said 12,500 volume. Was that correct, Shelley?
I think so.
just in a couple of days, even though she was in hospital, she was ringing around and all that sort of thing, and that helped her achieve a goal that she had set for herself, and then sort of move forward and achieve, president's team. And she is the youngest president's team in Australia. Quite incredibly, what she has achieved. Big on personal development. She did speak a lot about personal development, overcoming obstacles, setting goals for yourself and achieving them and ticking them off. And something she said was attitude is success. Success is 90% attitude and 10% skill. So it's no two ways about it. Your attitude is so, so important. And some of the best times to have a good attitude when things are really, going so wrong. And it's hard to have a smile on your face. And that's something she spoke about a lot, is how you present yourself with your presence, the smile, how you stand, how you conduct yourself, all that sort of thing, particularly when you're out and around in public. Because if you've got a bit of a scowl on your face or looking a bit tired or whatever, nobody's really going to want to talk to you. So her personal presence is very, very important. She covered that very, very well, I thought. Something hadn't sort of been said for a long, long time. So it was good to hear it one more time recently. So, she covered a lot. She covered the moving up the marketing plan extremely well for a lot of the new supervisors in the room. Hopefully they understood it a lot better. But really, she covered a lot. So trying to think of everything she covered. And she said to really put your thinking caps on and think about what your vision is and what do you really want from the company, from the business. Because unless you really know what you want, it's hard to work towards it. And your goal is different from everybody else's, and my goal is probably very different from you guys. So you've got to really think about what you want and then take the steps towards it. The other thing she spoke a lot about was duplicating yourself. And to move up the marketing plan, the only way to do that is by duplicating yourself, having a recruiting campaign in place, all the different activities, and recording what you do and keep records of everything. And sponsor people into your team. And then once you sponsor somebody in your team, you sort of teach them, you edify your upline to that person as well, because that really helps sort of have a good grounding. And you can't do things for distributors. I know way back, the distributor asked me, and of course I'd find the information, but now these days you've got to tell them where the information is and they have to do the research for themselves. It helps the person become a lot more independent faster. And she did speak about that. So very impressive young woman, absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you, Jan. That was a pretty good wrap up of the whole day, actually. And I just love that she kept it pretty real. She's fairly blunt. She certainly didn't sugarcoat anything. And she really said that it doesn't matter how you do something. And sometimes you might have a way of doing something in the business that is a little bit different, but just be yourself. Still do what works, but be authentic and be you. And when you're real, it's much easier for you to do the business, I think, and you can bring your personality into it, but still obviously copy what's working. So yes, I really loved her. I thought she was really fresh. She was funny. She certainly didn't have it easy. I mean, I'm sure some people might think, oh, she was a model or this or that, and she's just got it so easy, but she had a lot of things. She didn't have support from her mum. Her mum pretty much disowned her when she got pregnant.
Yes.
So that was a big no-no in the family. But not being married and falling pregnant, and she was only young, and there was lots of things actually that happened when her grandma got sick and exams, and she didn't find an excuse. She found a way.
Yes.
So I thought it was pretty good. So again, don't make excuses, find a way. And I know we've had a few personal challenges and things in the last couple of months, and it's made me really step up and think about my attitude, and because I'm wearing the brand and what we represent out there. We're representing all of us, like I'm representing you and you're representing us. So we've got to make sure we have a good attitude. It's not always easy when you've got being tested. So I think that's when your personal development is really tested, when you actually put it into action to overcome those challenges. So so I definitely think it was worthwhile attending and driving there and everything. So thank you to everyone that shared, that about the events that you attended. And if you want to put some photos up on Challenge Yourself Daily and share maybe the top 3 things that you got out of the event, I'd love you to do that. And what we're going to do now is we're going to run through some personal development and just go through, and it's going to be a little bit interactive as well. So we'll go through that, and then we'll just cover some of the events that are coming up in May, because we're always looking at what's the next event, what's your next local event, and what's your next corporate event that you can attend to help your business grow. So I'll hand it over to Ross to cover the personal development, and then I'll finish off with the promotions. So
thank you, Shelley. So good evening. Tonight, just so you know, before we start, we are actually going to have to record this in 2 sections. We'll record up to a certain part because we do want to actually play a short video. So it is about 5 minutes. It's something we found just on the thing. And unfortunately, because our skill level is probably not there yet, and we're still working on our own personal development, we haven't been able to link that across into our slides so that it automatically plays. So we'll have to stop share, stop the recording, pull out, start share, play the video, come back, and then record the last part of the conference. So just so at least you understand what's sort of going on from there. So we want to know, what is more important, exercise, nutrition, or your mindset? So we say we do 20% exercise, 80% nutrition, and it's 100% about your mindset. So really your mindset is the most important thing that you need to get in control before you actually can achieve almost anything you want to do. So did you get out of bed today? If you did your 20%. You may have needed to do more, but at least if you got up and walked to the kitchen, you did your 20%. And that's the most important thing we've got to be doing. Did you have a shake, tablets? Did you take part in nutrition, eat whatever you wanted to eat? Drink whatever you needed to drink to keep your body fueled with your nutrition was concerned. But what did you fuel your mind with today? So if we could just ask, and I'll put some people on the spot. Jan?
Yep.
Did you know what sort of mindset stuff would you be doing as your level within the company in your personal development on a daily basis, just so everyone else has an understanding of what's involved?
I listen to CDs more than I do reading. I've never been a great reader. I do read, but I can't read for a long period of time. But Jim Rohn is my best person, and I do love Larry Thompson Millionaire Training Tapes. So I've played them over and over and over.
Good, thank you. Well, we probably find we do the same, don't we? Lately, we've been driving around and we've got Tony Robbins' Take the Edge in the car, and we pretty well play that over and over and over wherever we're going. So at least we listen to that. We do still read. What else do we do?
I like the Millionaire Training Tapes. That's probably one of my classics. I've got the Jim Rohn, Sowing and Reaping, the Law of Averages, and I've also got the George Knight, Prospecting Your Way to President's Team. So I haven't quite figured out how to get them onto Challenge Yourself Daily, but just bear with me. I'm not quite sure how to do that. I've got them on my computer. I might have a chat with Mervyn at some stage with your skills with the computer, Mervyn, see whether we can get those onto Challenge Yourself Daily, okay?
Thank you. Mervyn, could you tell us sort of what sort of personal development, because you're obviously involved with other groups and that sort of stuff, what sort of would you be doing on a daily basis normally?
Well, I belong to a group in the States called Mentoring for Free, and we have 8 training calls a week. 8 training calls a week. 4 of those are recorded, 4 aren't. The 3 calls on the colours training aren't recorded because they're live with clients who've downloaded the book Success in 10 Steps, which is a proviso of the first step in doing mentoring for free. There's the videos, and then there's a personal call with the writer of that book. And then from then on, we use Think and Grow Rich, and we study the books chapter by chapter, and people write lessons on it each week. And you wouldn't believe I've been through the book something like 10 times now, but I still write an original lesson every week because there's something I missed the previous times.
That's fantastic, because I know I've read it once, and I know I need to go back and read it again. But yeah, you've read it. Okay, fair enough. And that's good to know that you can read something that many times and you can still pick up something else out of the same book somewhere down the track.
Well, I think the other thing is that we discussed it on a forum on 2 of the calls which are recorded, and the ideas of every other person comes up. There's usually something like 20, 30 people on that forum.
Okay.
Oh, and I do love your daily post too, Mervyn. Sometimes I feel like you're writing about my life. There's often things I go, wow, it's like, has he got a camera somewhere?
Yeah, we want to know, Mervyn, where have you put the secret camera? Because you seem to write a lot of things recently that have a lot to do with what's going on. So, yeah.
Well, actually, I looked for the posts and I found this one guy, which is the guy I post most mornings from. And he sort of, like you, he's sort of telling me what I should do in my life as well.
Okay, all right. We're all in the same. We're all, our minds are all starting to sync together by the sounds of that.
Yep.
All right.
So how old are you, Mervyn?
I'll be 80 on the 13th of May.
Cool. So I think it's pretty inspiring that you're so passionate about your personal development, and I can't wait to see your post when you're 90.
Oh, I hope to be posting till 100, so.
Yep, absolutely.
What an attitude. That's fantastic. Thanks, Mervyn.
Okay.
So your mindset is most important because it comes down to, why did you get up? Why did you even eat? What are you inputting into your mind? So did you watch the news today? Something you've got to question yourself. We're saying no. I hope everybody's shaking their head and going no.
No.
Did you read the newspaper?
No.
This one you may all going to get caught in. Did you spend time scrolling through Facebook? Yeah. Some are saying no, some are saying yes. It is one of the biggest waste of times. And unfortunately, in all of those 3 things, there is very little positivity that is being put into your head that you're inputting. You know? The ones of us that used to, and I know I used to, sit there late at night, watch the news program before going to bed, fill it all full of the crap that's gone on for the day, and then go to bed, go to sleep, and wonder why you had a horrible night's sleep or whatever the case may be. Honestly, doesn't matter what's going on in the world, I directly can't do anything about it. Unless the Russians land in the backyard out the back, I can't change half of what's going on out there anyway. And 9 times out of 10 is just negativity. There is a few good stories on there from time to time on some of the local stuff, but generally there's really not much in it at all. And Facebook, the amount of times that I go through Facebook and go, really? Really? You're going to put that part of your life up on Facebook? Why are you doing that? And it just wastes so much time at times. It's unbelievable. So you really need to think about, what are you get up and you'll do some exercise or you go for a walk. You'll put the right nutrition in your body, but your most important muscle, everything you need is in your head, and you're not filling it at times the right way. And that's why at times we don't grow, we don't develop. And you really just need to think about that.
I think there's, sorry.
You're right. I'll get you
you know the Millionaire Training Tapes, Jan, and it goes, you've got the wrong film in the projector. Like you'll be going along and you go, oh, why am I off track? Why is this, something's happening and my attitude sucks. And you go, I've got the wrong film in the projector. And so if you keep doing this, feeding your mind with the right stuff, that you've got the right film in your projector, and therefore your attitude is better, and your calls go better. You get more yeses because of your attitude. So I keep thinking about that, the film in the projector.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to take extreme responsibility for you. Now, Shelley and I both listened to a gentleman by the name of Kerwin Rae. He is an Australian motivational type speaker. He's really trying to build his own business in a lot of ways when he talks to you on different things, absolutely. But his attitude is extreme responsibility. So it doesn't matter what single thing is happening to you, it's still your fault. Because what could you have done? If you're teaching someone how to drive a car and they crash it, did you teach them properly? What could you have done better? And when you stop and think about it, for your own point of view, having an argument, what could you have done? Anything you could have done and went, hang on a minute, if I hadn't have reacted that way, if I had stopped. So it's just about, and that's an extreme point, But at the end of the day, everything we do, we are responsible. Every reaction is coming from what we've done. So we just really need to think about that, especially if you want to change anything in your life. You really need to start taking responsibility for yourselves.
Yes, I think when I was younger, especially too, I'd blame everyone and everything for what was happening, and you can't really do that. You know, yes, there's maybe some things that are out of your control, but you still can control how you react to everything, and I think that's a sign of maturity. You know, when Jan, on some of the trainings, old style trainings, we talk about the baby stage, the teenage stage, and then the mature stage in your business, and that maturity is how you handle challenges and being mature enough to be in control of how you react to everything. So I think that's how I look at it.
Yeah, well, Jim Rohn, like, you know, he used to blame the government, he used to blame everybody. Well, at the end of the day, it's not everybody, it's us. So just think about that when things are not happening around you. So stop back and go, okay, what responsibility could I take here to move myself forward? So again, it comes down to this. No one can do your push-ups for you. No one.
You're not going to even talk about the push-ups?
Oh, if you want to.
The push-up story? That was a good...
Which is the push-up story?
You know, the Fit Club.
Okay, so push-ups. No one can do your push-ups for you. I have never done push-ups. I hated exercise. I'm being slowly pushed into exercise. So if you go to the push-up story, Shelley has this killer thing called 20-to-1. So you do 20 exercises and then do another exercise for 20 and go back and do 19. So it was push-ups. So 20 push-ups, burpees, your crunches, 19 push-ups, 19 crunches, so forth, back and forth. You understand the principle. So never done more than 20 push-ups in my life. 217 push-ups in under an hour later, and we're still going. So don't say it can't be done. So no one else could have done those push-ups for me except me. And that's the principle. And to prove myself, you know, we came out towards the end, but it can be done.
Yeah, it was good to see that what's possible. Most people don't realise until they can do it, and being around people that are encouraging you.
Absolutely.
Determination.
That's it.
So again, no one can take whatever you're drinking, eating, supplementation. You have to put in your own mouth. Again, no one can develop you but you. Personal development is a conscious choice of life to improve one's life, to become a better person, to grow as an individual. You have to do your own personal development. You have to step up at some point. Doesn't matter whether you read, doesn't matter you listen to something, doesn't matter what you do, but you're the only one that's going to step yourself forward. No one else is going to do that.
I think it's one of those ones, it's easy to do and easy not to do. And it's something I tell my girls when they don't want to brush their teeth. I say, just brush the ones you want to keep. It's my little saying that I tell them, just brush the ones you want to keep, darling. It's okay. So this is the same. So easy not to do, but it's like brushing your teeth and like everything else you do every single day and night. Why wouldn't you do this? It's pretty much you can get it for free, and it's just a little snippet of time. And definitely, if we can scroll through Facebook, we can spend that time doing personal development.
So what are you afraid of? Don't be afraid just to jump. What are you afraid of? Because that's the biggest problem. It's the fear. It is the fear in most of us that stop us doing anything we want to do. And realistically, you've got to ask yourself, what are you honestly afraid of? If it ain't going to kill you, what are you afraid of it for?
So you don't like talking in front of people and doing videos and stuff, do you?
No, I hate it. But, what am I doing right now? Yeah. So what are you afraid of? No, seriously.
And I know, Jan, you used to be really shy. Like, how did you overcome your shyness and still do it anyway?
Because I really wanted to learn how to do Herbalife, and the two things that you have to do is talk to people and talk on a telephone. So because I wanted to try and achieve something from Herbalife, I think when you want something badly enough, you will overcome those difficulties. And of course, Gary used to belt me around it a little bit as well. I'd have an ad running, and he'd say, now let the phone ring at least 4 times before you pick it up, and when you pick up the receiver you've got to stand up. And he made me have a mirror at the telephone, and he said, before you speak you must smile before you talk into the telephone. So he's a real tough taskmaster, but I must admit it really, really did help me overcome my fears. And that's what we are, sort of fearful of, is doing things that we're not comfortable doing. And you've got to practice doing them until you become comfortable. Yeah. And then you move on to something else that you're not comfortable doing. And see, some people are afraid of success as well as failure. So we're afraid of a lot of different things. So it's to find out and just, go for it. And whether or not you do it right or wrong, it doesn't matter, as long as you start doing things that you're not comfortable doing.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere on it. I think it was for Susan Jeffers, Feel, Fear and Do Ever. I'm pretty sure it was that book. And she said that successful people that are, are really successful, actually still are afraid, but they just do it anyway. Like they just go and they still do it. So, just think about that. Even people that are successful are still afraid. They just do it anyway. Okay, yeah. So that's the key. It's okay to be afraid, but still keep going. So yeah, that's a great book to read as well, that one. I must be coming up to this.
Yeah, it is. So fear, it has two meanings. It's forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours.
That fight or flight.
Pretty well.
Which one are you? Are you a fighter or someone that flees?
And in what you're doing, you really have to become a fighter. You have to fight your own fear first. You really do. So it's time to grow. It's time to step out of your own comfort zone. So if you take the call we're on at the moment, everybody realistically should have your camera up unless it's broken. And if it's broken, use the next week as personal development to go and fix it. But otherwise, you should have your camera up. We should all be professional. We should all be trying to show each other who is here, be in a professional manner, because this is the quickest way to learn to be a comfort zone. Because if you're afraid right now to have your face on camera, how do you go do a walk and talk? How do you go and face anybody else if you can't face each other? Because this is the best place to make the most mistakes, because we will all support you. Everybody around you, from personal development to your business, will be supporting of you if you're here. Make more mistakes you make, quicker you're going to grow. And I read a Tony Robbins quote once, where Tony Robbins, they wondered why he was the most motivational speaker and why he'd become so successful. And it was because all the other motivational speakers around him were doing one motivational speaker once a week, once a month. Tony was doing 3 a day. Tony, by the end of the week, was 15 times more, had made 15 times more mistakes than anybody else around him. That's how he grew. That's how he developed, and that's how he outlasted everybody else, because he kept stuffing up. It's like the push bike. How many times did you fall off? How many times did you, whatever you did before you got going? So honestly, we need to make mistakes. I can tell you, I don't like being on camera. I don't enjoy it. I don't like talking to it. And we're in the process now to look at doing some mindset and development things and start to put things on Facebook live rather than just the feeds we do of the morning in the posts. So yeah, you really need to think about that and start to grow.
Do you think that's something that's out of your comfort zone?
Oh yeah. Especially even the 2-minute plank, whatever it was this morning, the 2.5-minute plank or whatever it was, putting video on me that and trying to get me to talk halfway through it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Do you want to talk about other people that you want to get up and do the call and really get them to step out of their comfort zone?
Yeah, I would. There's so many people in this call, and you're on here every single week, and yeah, we definitely want you to start thinking about co-presenting. You don't have to do it all on your own. We can help you with the presentation. So, like, I help you with the presentation each time you do it, and so we all have our own strengths. But guess what? We all do it together. You can learn how to do this, how to use it, and guess what? I can get you in on Zoom. I know Lydia and myself and us, we did a little video for the challenge, right, which was fun, and we just jumped on at a different time and recorded it. So if you want to do some practice runs with Zoom, we can get you on and run you through it, so you can actually practice in that comfortable thing, or just get on your phone and film yourself talking and then play it back. And this was something my sponsor Merv taught me to do, was to record everything and play it back. And I used to hate it. I hate listening to myself. I hated watching myself. But I picked out my body language. How many times I said was a lot. And I just think, you know, you pick up so much about what, you know, your confidence and everything. So, because I know Gary always says, you've got to be over the top when you're talking. He said, you've got to be louder and more excited, because they only pick up on, like, I don't know what it was, 20% or something. Like, you got to sound over the top, especially when you're doing a voicemail and you've got your voice recording. Be over the top and excited, because it won't come through as much on the recording. So, and I always felt really silly doing it, but, you know, he taught me lots of really valuable things, Merv and Gary. Obviously, Gary mentored Merv as well. Yeah, so I just think, yeah, get out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I can tell you right now, my very first HOM that Merv got me to do, I tried to do the whole thing on one breath. It's like a half-hour presentation. And he got up, like I remember standing at the front, running out of breath, and he stood up and he said, take a breath, Shelley. And I was really embarrassed. I went bright red like a beetroot, and I kind of, you know, bent down, and then I went, well, I can either run or I can continue. And I decided to continue. I don't know why. But guess what? The next time it got easier, and the next time it got easier. And I still get nervous now. I know Gary always said he actually felt like throwing up before going out on stage, even as a Chairman's Club member. So, you know what, just don't worry about it. Just, we want you to put your hand up and want you to start doing these, because we need you. We need your experience. We need your growth. You know, people will see you grow in this environment, and that's what we want to do. We're here to support you. Isn't that right, Jan?
Absolutely.
So, you know, all of our experience, we can help you. So I definitely want you to put your hands up and start presenting. So, well, I'll probably start headhunting you anyway. You know what will happen. I will find you. So, okay, you can go.
Something you need to think about within your own business, it's a duplicatable business that you operate. If you aren't prepared to step up, how do you get anyone below you or around you to follow you and do the same thing? It's really what it comes down to. If you're not prepared to put yourself forward and front forward and put your camera on and show who you are and not do all those things or whatever's involved, how do you get anyone to follow you? How do you, if you want to have a new person that's interested in what you're doing and you want to show them a call of this nature, and you haven't shown who you are on the call, but everybody else did, what does it say to that new prospective prospect if this is put up in Challenge Yourself Daily and then you have to send that out to the person? So you have to think about everything you do, everyone watches what you do. They follow what you do. So it's just something you need to think about. So your own growth, your own teams, all that, only going to work, and when you step out of your comfort zone, they'll step out of their comfort zone. Just something to seriously think about as you're moving forward. So you're scared. You're scared right now that Shelley's going to punch you in a couple of weeks' time and go, right, you're on, you're up. This is the lesson you're going to have for next week. Mervin's got his thumb up, he's going, he's fine. But, you know, it could be there. And you need to understand that every single one of us in our own way are going through whatever, or have gone through whatever it is. Not one of us realistically has anything worse off than the other. We might all have physical disabilities or mental disabilities or things we've all gone through. We all will grow, we'll all develop. I don't know if you fully know my story, and I'm not going to get fully into it, but 5 years ago I was diagnosed with depression off the chart. The doctor basically said, you should be in hospital now. That's where I was 5 years ago. I sat on a lounge for 2 years and watched TV. I could not leave a house. Couldn't go anywhere. Still have slight anxiety. I'm not saying the product's got anything to do with what we've done. It's just personal development. And I do not enjoy, I won't use the word hate, I do not enjoy doing this, but I'm getting better. And the more and more I stuff up, the more and more we're critiqued. And like Jan said the other week, we needed to slow down. We're trying to slow down. And because unfortunately we do talk at a million miles an hour half the time, and it is difficult to slow down and talk normally. But I know you're scared. I know how hard it is at times to do what's required. So we all don't think that one person's better than another. We've all gone or going through something at some point, or still going through stuff. We all are. And we're all there to help each other and help support each other, because that's what this is about.
Yeah. And can I just say, last week I had one of my VIPs come to the Lifestyle Centre, and he just popped in actually, like I didn't have him booked in or anything, and he's really good at social media and videos. And because I was busy doing someone's results, he spoke to Ross first, and he just said, oh, can I give you some feedback? And I know didn't really like getting the feedback from him.
Not really, but that's fine.
But I did say to him, this is all part of it. So usually someone will give you feedback because they care about you. So you don't take it as a bad thing, take it as a good thing because they care and they want to help you and help you become better, because he's given me plenty of feedback as well, and I kind of take it on board. Don't take it personally, know that it's something that I can grow from and improve on. So, you know, don't be afraid if you do something and someone gives you some feedback, like Jan said to us after one of our calls, you were too fast. So, you know, don't take it personally. Yes, you've got to slow it down and maybe make sure your people are in the group that know to stop and ask a question to break it up so you can catch your breath and pace it a little bit more and you're getting more value out of it or something like that. So, yeah, I think that's a good point.
Cool. Thank you. So we're going to stop the record for a second so we can play this video. Hopefully Shelley has the technology up to speed enough that she can stop it, play the video and come back to the recording without losing everybody, and you'll have to reshare when you go to do that.
Okay,
so you'll
can I just, oh no.
No, you have to stop the recording.
Stop, I can pause the recording.
You try that, go for that.
There, that's great.
That's all right, go back to the sharing screen.
And, I know there.
That's
That one.
Over there.
That one?
Yep.
Okay, can you see that now?
Yay.
Can you see that? You're scared? Yay, I did it. Yep. Sorry. Okay, let's go.
So, yeah, as you can see, we all can stuff up. We all got to learn.
Oh my goodness. So I'm not good with technology, just so you know. I'm learning as I go. Like it's definitely not one of my fortes is technology. Okay. So this is the whole thing that we all work together and help each other. But that video, how inspiring is that? Like, you know, how can we make excuses when this guy's got such a great attitude? You know, he's doing more than one thing. He's giving back as well. He's giving back to his community. How inspiring was that?
Absolutely. Yeah, incredible.
So, yeah, you know, you've got to think about yourself. We all have excuses. And when you think about Max, he has the highest grade ticket for that industry, which is incredible. It is absolutely huge to get that style of license with that sort of a handicap that he has. So we really, when you think about ourselves, when we get up and we go to talk to somebody, we don't have an excuse. So we just need to think about that from what we're doing from time to time.
And most of us can't even parallel park. I can't even what's your part, right? Apparently.
So all you need to do is improve by 1% every day. Within a year, you're going to be 365% better than you are today. All you have to do is be a little bit better tomorrow than whatever you did today. Whatever you did today, just go and do a little bit better. That's all. You don't have to be fantastic or amazing. And you will find how amazing you are if you went back and compared yourself today to 12 months ago to where you are and really had a good think about it, how much you've improved. You know what I mean? You'll look at the call in 12 months' time and you'll find that Shelley will be able to absolutely screen share and move on and it'll be fantastic. But we'll just slowly improve. So, and we all just need to do that. Don't try and change the world tomorrow. Just be a little bit better than whatever you did today. That's all you need to do. And just keep doing that and keep doing that and keep doing that, and you'll slowly improve. And that's what you really got to think about. The other thing you need to think about that none of us do, you need to set daily time for you. We all run around, people that have children, family members, jobs, whatever it is, you run around all day, everyone else. When do you set yourself some time aside, whether it's half an hour, whether it's an hour? You make an appointment to go to a doctor. You make an appointment to go to a dentist. You make an appointment to go and get a haircut. You make an appointment to do whatever you do. When do you make an appointment for you to fill your mind with whatever's required to start thinking about what time are you setting aside for yourself, whenever it may be. I'm not telling you to get up early or anything like that. I'm not telling you to go to bed late. I'm not doing that. But if you wanted a haircut and your hair was hanging down around your ankles, you'd make a time and you make an appointment to go and get your haircut. So why can't you make some time for yourself somewhere at some? And if you can't make it an hour, who cares if it's 10 minutes? But do some time for yourself. Put some time aside for you from time to time, every day if you can. Before we get to that. So it comes down to, you need to think about, what are you reading? What are you listening to? What we've noticed lately is, you know, when things haven't been going the greatest and we haven't had time to read a book and whatever the case may be, we've actually pulled up YouTube as we're going to sleep and just put on motivational speeches or music or whatever it is, you know, fall asleep to it. It's filling our heads of a night. And yeah, you listen to it for half an hour and then you're zonked out. Who cares? Doesn't matter. But that's what we're trying to go to sleep to. If that's the only time we've got is when we're laying in bed, trying to go to sleep, trying to wind down, and there's something just gently, not loud, playing in the background, depending on what it is. If you haven't got time, or you don't want to read, because I know reading's not the easiest thing in the world. I am definitely not the fastest reader. But, you know, if you think about it, 10 pages a day gives you a book in a month. 5 pages a day still gives you a book in 2 months. Find something. And the other thing I would suggest if you're going to read, go and find something that's super, 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 super easy. Don't read anything hard because it'll just throw you off and you won't do it.
So what would you recommend?
Things like almost plenty of books have got plenty of pictures in. Is a really good way to start. There's plenty out there. You know, when I was buying those books on Saturday, I noticed that Jonathan Livingston Seagull was still available in a brand new copy that comes back from the 1970s. Most of the old books, like Mervyn was saying, Think and Grow Rich. And Think and Grow Rich, yes, it's a heavy book, so I'm not going to suggest you do that. But a lot of the older books are the ones you should be looking at because they're exactly the same today. Just find things like that. I've read Who've Moved My Cheese. There's plenty of little, yeah, there you go. You can do it. See me, Steve's lifting up a book now. Just find something that's simple. Find something that's got large print. So, you know, find something that's easier to read. That stuff that's really small, you just get tired, you get a headache, and you go, I can't be bothered. Find something that's got larger print on it. I just bought a book on the weekend. It says the 2 most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day you find out your purpose. I'm reading that. I've started reading that at the moment. Again, it's got large print. Every end of every chapter there's a poem, so there's a whole break page. So it's not like intense reading. Think of that sort of stuff for what you're needing to do. Try to find something that's easy to start with, and then work. And then again, as your 1% with your 365 grows, you can chew harder into other things. There's books that I've picked up. I think something about the Titans, the Tools of the Titans. I got halfway through it and just put it down. I just went, I can't read this. It was just so, just the way it was written, I couldn't read it. Don't bog yourself down in stuff that you can't do. Find the easy stuff and just develop from there.
I think, even though I know you say you think you're not a good reader, I like it when you read to me, which is really good because I can be sitting doing something and you're reading. That's really nice. So even like something on audio, if you find that's better, an audio book. So or just get someone to read to you.
Yeah, well, there you go. But look, in our modern world, you pretty well can find most audiobooks that you can get on USBs or CDs you can put in your car. They're out there. So if you haven't got the time, put it in your car. Listen to it that way. Listen to it at home. If you're cooking dinner or whatever you're doing, you can have it playing in the background if need be. Yeah. And if you've got to listen to it a couple of times because something's interrupted you, it doesn't matter. You know, just do what you can do, whatever that may be, to develop you. And that's the biggest thing that this is about.
There's a good little book called Follow Your Heart, I think John Maxwell, and that's got a few little cartoons in it and reasonable size print. Not terribly thick, but gee, it's got some good words in there.
Yeah, so take a photo of the book you're reading at the moment or your favourite and put it on Challenge Yourself Daily too. We'd love to see all of that. Last 5 minutes.
So if you say, look, you know, Jim Rohn, if you want to have more, you have to become more. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. For things to improve, you have to improve. If you grow, everything grows for you. And it's so true. You know, if we want to grow, if we want to become better, we have to become better. We have to do that sort of change. You have to understand, and this is always easy. It's personal development. Your mindset is actually more important than anything else. Because if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to get up and even put your shoes on and walk out that front door. You've got to find your mindset. And we were listening to Tony Robbins today, and he come up, and I can't remember the numbers. He said that the problem with all of us is we're in what he calls is pain. When you're in pain, you change. That's when you grow. That's when you go, I've had enough. I'm sick and tired of being fat. I'm sick and tired of being broke. I'm sick and tired of whatever it may be. You do something about it. The problem with most of us in our society is we do something about it. We get a little bit better. Life becomes easier. And all of a sudden, we lose our drive. We lose our passion. And all of a sudden, we're back either the money's getting difficult again. We spent too much. We ate a bit of chocolate or a bit of this or a bit of that or whatever it may be, and all of a sudden the kilos come back on and we're back doing it all over again. So you've just got to understand that you need that personal development. You need that personal development to grow, develop, and improve you. Shelley's just going to pull up.
Sorry. Okay, found it.
Chats.
Cool.
So that's pretty well basically all there is. What are they saying?
Oh, they're just some, and we all think we can't do it. Positive thinking. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Lydia. So we're just checking the messages. So that's cool.
Do you want to unmute everybody?
Yeah, so let's finish off the call and then everyone give some feedback. And I also just, Jan, I was just wondering, because I've got the PowerPoint presentation with all the current promotions, and I'm going to put it on Challenge Yourself Daily. So that's mainly the success training days in May, which I know there's one Toowoomba, Gold Coast, Brisbane, and the Sunshine Coast. So I'll put all those up on Challenge Yourself Daily, plus the PowerPoint presentation will be there that you can download and print all up, because what you want to do is you want to print them out. And it doesn't matter if you don't live in those areas, just ask who do you know and you can get some people to those areas. So for example, if you've got someone on the Gold Coast and you can't go to that one, I'm sure Jan and Jennifer would be more than happy to look after someone that you're sending there. Would that be right, Jan?
Absolutely, no problem.
Yep. So, and if, for example, if you knew someone in Canberra, you know that Mervyn and Steve would look after your guests for you at their local HOM. Isn't that right, guys? Yeah. So, you know, we all want to help each other, and same here with Gympie. If you've got someone that you want to send here, I'm more than happy to look after them at Fit Club or at our HOMs or one of our local events. Not a problem at all. Just let us know. So we're expecting them basically. And that way we all work together. So I will put those events up. So Jan, did you want to mention anything about those local success training days?
Whatever one you attend will be absolutely fantastic. I know Jennifer's doing two. She'll be doing the Toowoomba one for Scott and Bernadette, and also the one on the Gold Coast. And Glenn, which I didn't even know is back, will be back in Australia, but obviously because he's been travelling so much, he will be doing Brisbane. Yeah. And he's, you know, absolutely a great trainer. And he's one that wasn't very good in the very, very beginning, but because he kept doing it and doing it and doing it over and over and over again, he's become a great teacher.
Yeah. So, and I think is it Shondell Bell maybe doing the Sunshine Coast or something like that?
Yes, yeah, she's doing the Sunshine Coast and she's great as well.
Cool. So I'm pretty sure these events are on the 19th and the 26th of May. So write them down. I'll definitely put the slides up on Challenge Yourself Daily so you can share them onto your groups and with your team, and also the PowerPoint presentation with all of the, you know, with all the promotions on there. So Mervyn's saying the next SDS is in Sydney on the 19th of May. So I'd love you to put those details up on Challenge Yourself Daily if you can, Mervyn. That would be fantastic. So the things we want is, one, we want you to start thinking about co-presenting, putting your hand up, and don't be afraid, because we can just give you a small part to start with. And yeah, we'll walk you through it. We're not going to throw you into the deep end. The second one is to share your personal development and any of your photos and that from the Success Summit onto Challenge Yourself Daily, and any of your local events. Just put them on there and so everyone knows. And eventually I'll compile them onto a list anyway, so we've got them there. Did you want to add anything else, Jan?
No, I think you've covered everything very well.
Okay, so if you all want to unmute and say anything, please feel free.
Glenn may be muted. Oh,
okay. Or I can unmute you if you want. I'm not sure. Or maybe I just did it and now you.
I'd just like to say how great this Zoom calls are. I mean, you know, in my day, we had to use the telephone and do conference calls, and the phone bills used to be exorbitant. Absolutely. And then, of course, you know, more technical information more recently was the webinars, and they were great considering, you know, what we used to have to do. But now with Zoom calls, it really does bring everybody together. You know, when I heard about them, I got really, really excited. And we really need to build and get more people on them, because, you know, so much can be learnt. So it's a matter of more promotion and getting more people on.
Absolutely, and because you can see people's faces, and a lot of us live in country areas, and sometimes you can feel a little bit isolated, right? You feel like you're the only person in your area and you're trying to do everything, but to have that connection, and I know for me it was really important. I've got, yeah, I'd done Herbalife Phoenix City on the Gold Coast and in Adelaide, and when I moved here to Gympie, I really did feel like a lot of time I was doing it on my own and having to do that. So it's nice to have that interaction with everybody, I think, and to be able to see the faces too. So
absolutely.
So obviously there's 2 recordings that will be going out tonight. Oh no, there isn't, because I paused it. So it should be 1 recording. I'll send out the YouTube link. And yeah, we look forward to seeing the people. I know there's a few that have put their hand up already, but anyone else that's interested, don't be afraid. It's a great way to grow. If you really want to grow and develop as a leader and a mentor and a teacher, this is the way to do it.
Or you could just pick the names out of the hat.
You know what? I was so thinking that earlier. I think I'm going to do that. It's exciting. So who's excited? Okay, so we're just going to finish recording. So hang on 2 seconds. Oh, so we'll send this recording out. So thank you for being on the call, everyone.